Hello and welcome to the weekly oracle reading for the week beginning 29th of September onwards. Tuning in right away, okay? Okay, the first card we have is actually rather two cards fell out together. So these two cards, they're volcano volatility and dance celebration. Okay, it seems to me that things are really picking up. The pace is really picking up this week. And I think there's a huge tendency of people being overwhelmed by that pace. I think the idea of this card being there is the second card, is the fact that you want to somehow look at it with a sense of celebration. It seems to me that your transformation is complete by end of this week. You sense that very strongly. You've defined your relationships and your new definitions are taking its root right now. And you get a sense of conviction because of that. But when you try on new shoes, you will get shoe bites. You have to understand, just because the shoe bites hurt doesn't mean you have to get into foot surgery. It just means you're just trying on something and there's a little bit of uncomfortability attached to it, which is fine. Don't read that as something that's not changed within you. It's only about taking time to get acclimatized to this new version of you. Okay? Things are picking up pace. So certain events that happen in your life this week can slightly make you feel uncertain, unsure, or uncomfortable. So don't allow that to get into you. I think a lot of us are getting into new commitments, whether it's work or partnership, whatever that is for you. But a lot of us are changing locales to suit a new situation where it's more fruitful for you as far as your material or financial security is concerned. Okay? So yes, new alliances are on the horizon, but as a byproduct of those decisions, I guess you're having to let go some things. Don't brood about the uncomfortability so much. Whatever you do, whether you're feeling comfortable or uncomfortable, ensure that you be brutally honest with yourself. Am I in the right place to do it? Are these going to lead to consequences that is in accordance with my higher goals? Or is it going to take me off my path? That's exactly the point of doing a review of your life, okay? And a lot of people end up doing that at work, but not so much about life. So I think it's also healthy for you to adopt that mentality into your personal life. Okay, the next card we have it says Milky Way Perspective. All right, so I think it's reinstating the fact that some of us are really feeling lost a little bit. And I don't sense this as something really grave, as in, it's minor stuff, it's not major. It's more like, a tourist in a no man's land. It's not that the tourist won't enjoy a new place, but it's just, he's kind of lost without a map. And that is okay, because we are transitioning. Transition normally is a place where it's temporary, first of all, and it doesn't give you a sense of what's gone and where you're going. And number 3 is that it's an inevitable part of the process of progress. There's always going to be a time when you're trying to do or introduce something new that was quite alien an idea. And when you try to incorporate that, and when you work towards it, there will always be a time where you feel unsure about it. And this uncertainty is not coming from your indecision. It's more to do with the process. Okay, a lot of us are strongly committed to certain things we've chosen for ourselves, and we're pretty much beginning it sometime this week, I feel. But as much as that being said, there's also a part of you that kind of is seeking motivation. Maybe when you started thinking about it a week or two back, it really excited you and it got you so far, and you're here now and you don't feel so excited. I've spoken about this earlier. You don't get to the desk and wait for inspiration to kick in. You just have to keep doing it in a non-expectational way. And when you get pretty good with that, I don't think you want to depend on a high of imagination all the time. Doesn't mean that you have to be without imagination. So I guess it's more to do with your will. So you have to reverse the process. I feel you have to start thinking, imagining positive things that kind of get you excited, and then get to doing stuff. And for you to be able to do that, I feel you just really have to stop, let go of your complacency. Your complacency has a lot to do with you having harbored a certain unproductive habit because of a certain level of comfort. Yeah, they're saying that you should not allow this sense of complacency or comfortness to rule your workmanship. Because a lot of things we do as work comes from a deep sense of commitment. And when you introduce to that something like a sense of comfort, there's a lot of inertia, there's not so much of dynamism, and it could be counterproductive for us if we do something like that at this point in time. Okay, the next card we have is Whale, and it says Breach. Okay, so there is definitely a notion of stagnation. I think it can work in two ways. It's either that things are going really good for you since a long time and you can't make out the difference. Probably the reason for your inertia or lack of motivation is exactly that. The fact that there's nothing challenging you, okay? That can really cause some people to not consider something that could be a little bit more productive or maybe a better offer for you. Or I think some of us may be coming from the other end of the spectrum. You've just gotten out of a very painful health situation, or maybe even an emotionally abusive relationship just recently, and you can't just yet get your mind wrapped around positive things happening for you. Now, cosmically, I see maybe there are some really good opportunities coming for you pertaining to whatever relevant area that is for you personally. The strong message to you is not to just jump into it, trying to avoid feeling the pain. You haven't had the time to fully acknowledge the pain and let go. It's all about balance. So if you have been in extreme pain, you have to realize that that pain has to be confronted, accepted, know where it's coming from. Take your time to process. Take your time to heal yourself first. Even if it's in the case of emotionally abusive relationships, you cannot afford to jump into one right now. If you want to keep it real, be honest with them. Say that I'm going to take some time. So if you think you could wait until then, yes, maybe you will consider. If not, no. Okay? That's you taking responsibility of what you need to do for yourself first before you commit to others. They're saying that for those of us who have difficulty in terms of relieving ourselves from a good situation, there's no way of knowing it first of all, so you really have to change your environment. I say take off to a place where you know it always gets you motivated or make you a little bit more dynamic. People who live in the dump, for them the smell of dump is normal. Only way you can realize is when you switch to a place where the air is much cleaner. So really examine which of these situations is your life right now, okay? And then go about the way you must, which is with an attitude of balance and honesty, okay? Okay, the last card we have is Wolf, and it says Instinct. A very strong message for you guys to follow your instinct this week. Okay, so a lot of us have had to dumb down our instinct for some time now because we were doing a lot of inner work. We had to change the way we thought about life. We had to scrap some of our ideologies on life, and we had to take time to remove them one by one, get to know what's underneath, and then transform them. So now we are back to that place where we have to start giving them an outlet. You have to understand whatever that happens in life is based on necessity. What's needed at that point in time is what you do. So everything is about directing your instinct based on your morality. Whatever you feel instinctual is spontaneous. It's the ultimate creative, spontaneous energy. But if it has to have some effect in the world, it has to meet an end. It has to have a purpose. Otherwise it's defeated. That's where spirituality comes in. Okay? It's as simple as saying, there cannot be an egoless person in this world. Everyone has an ego. But it's his morality that rules his decisions. So whether he chooses to exhibit his ego or not is his call. You have set down the values. So now it's about guiding the instincts that will come up in the coming month. Actually, it will be really strong because the Grand Fire Trine gets really powerful starting from next week. And then you will definitely feel the change of energy because we're talking about fire energy. And fire energy is about not staying put in one place. It's about dynamism, okay? So you guys have to ensure that when you go about in that dynamism, it's not a wasted effort, which is why we are laying all this groundwork right now, isn't it? Again, there's a message of going very slow with this process, not to jump. This general notion of when things are going good, you try to make it best by pushing it, doesn't work in life. If you see yourself having a tendency to do that, it's only a reminder that you have certain insecurities that you still further need to look into. Okay, folks, so that's all for this week. I'll see you again next week, same time, same channel. I really think if you really want to get the best out of this week, please go at it slowly, okay? Slowly and honestly does it. Okay, then bye.